Wouldn't that be groovy if he was just like, hello, I am here to eat ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of bubble gum.
Eat ass.
Wow.
I kind of made a mistake and just rolled with it there. Combined like kick ass and anyways, what are you gonna do?
I'm here for rim jobs and shots, baby.
And I'm all out of shots. He look.
Oh god.
Christopher's dying.
Yeah, I'm getting that.
Sometimes you say something, and see, this is why Christopher recruits me for Lasercomb Productions. It's because I understand his Metal Gear Solid and his Highlander references, and sometimes I just say something stupid by accident, and and it works.
ALPHANUMERIC. ReBoot.
What's a gnat? You're prepared for a giant monster made entirely of nulls stomping around mainframe?
I've always wanted to do that.
How do you plan for that?
Is this still happening?
Greetings and salivations, ex-humans. Welcome to ALPHANUMERIC, the ReBoot podcast, where three Canadian kids from the 90s talk about the animated TV show ReBoot. Well,
Yes.
Technically we're not from the 90s because we're born in the 80s. You get what I mean.
We're 90s kids, damn it.
We're 90s kids, damn it.
We grew up in the 90s.
I am one of your hosts for ALPHANUMERIC, NeoCal.
I am another host, AP Sniddler.
Spoliations listeners, I am the third host, Christopher Siege.
And today, us three hosts are talking about three viruses because we're reviewing the episode Gigabyte, which is episode 8 of season 2, and it aired on December 23rd, 1995.
Yes.
Gigabyte.
Yes.
Cheers.
What's
So,
your initial impressions of the gig?
Well, I don't know. We haven't watched it yet, have we?
Oh shit.
No, I actually I'll get into it more at the
You want to
end,
talk
but
about it as we get into it.
yeah. I do really like this episode though.
Well, I just want to point out that this is one of the first times that the episode is a direct continuation from the last episode, Nullzilla.
Yeah.
The first scene. Go ahead.
Even if you look at the numbering of the episodes, Nullzilla was v2.7.1 and this is v2.7.2. Instead
the
of
production codes?
No, just the episode numbering.
Oh, the numbering.
Yeah, instead of being v2.8, it's v2.7.2.
Yes.
Oh.
And next
Clever
week's
girl.
episode, Trust No One, is v2.7.3.
Wow. The more you know.
And knowing is half the battle.
I always just when I was a kid, I just always called this episode like Fat Megabyte episode.
Fat with a PH.
Fat Megabyte.
Exactly.
So that's great.
we start the episode directly following the carnage of Nullzilla.
Yeah. Even
the
plays
robot.
that dope Megazord music, that dun 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 dun.
Dun 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 dun. Yeah, the kind of battle music.
I love that music. Big
It's good.
fan.
I'm a big fan of all the music that Mainframe Entertainment does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Especially peaceful, like jungle flute music from Beast Wars.
And from an episode of this show too.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I actually the theme song for the third Mainframe series, Shadow Raiders, which we will cover eventually.
Oh God.
The theme song to Shadow Raiders is actually like one of my favorite theme songs of anything of all time.
For real?
Yeah, it's great.
Huh.
I love it.
I
And the
can't
music-
recall it, but I bet you as soon as I hear it, it'll flood back to me.
Yeah, I did share it with you guys, like maybe a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, you did. You're right.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, and the music in that show was done by the same dude who does the music in this show and in Beast Wars. So how's about that?
All 3 shows?
Yep, same guy.
Good for him. It's one dude?
Yep.
Oh,
Good for
wow,
him getting
talent.
work.
Oh, yeah.
right?
He's
And
good.
being a very diverse songwriter as well. Like the music in these shows, like other than that, like tranquil flute music that we just mentioned, the music in these shows don't really sound all that similar to one another.
I don't think so.
Mm.
Which is a line from Bob.
Who is in
Oddly
the show ReBoot.
Speaking of Bob, the Megazord is still standing in the middle of mainframe.
Apparently, all the entomologizing force exited the Megazord.
Yeah. Like, why didn't they
Because
just disassemble it and take the vehicles
and fly
back
it
to
back, right?
Yeah.
Because there's like a hover, like a cargo helicopter that comes and picks it up and tries to haul it away.
Mhm.
Mm.
But it's so big and bulky, it just like knocks over buildings on the way out.
Yeah, and this like domino effect.
A construction like binom kind of turns to the camera and he's like, cleanup's going okay. Apart from a couple minor setbacks. And I'm like, dude, you're destroying shit. Come on.
Yeah, the good news is that Nullzilla isn't a problem anymore. The Nulls all went back to where they came from.
That's a good blue collar voice. Yeah, and it turns out that he's talking to Dot through a vid window. And I guess
Yep.
she was in that helicopter thing. Because we see her in it later.
Yeah.
I was like, Dot, you knocked over buildings. Come on. I just noticed that.
Oh, I didn't even pick up on that. That's hilarious.
Just realized that she was the one in it because in a few minutes it shows her flying in it.
Funny.
Dot. Bad Dot. Very bad Dot.
Hey now, keep it in the bedroom, okay?
Is she very bad?
How bad is she, Fong?
Say it. Say it out loud. So
Oh,
we're
man.
we're joined Bob and Hexadecimal. Hexadecimal is like barely conscious, coming to, kind of sitting on the ground. Bob's beside her, and they're surrounded by like the CPU
CPUs,
police
yeah.
force. They've got like a hover tank kind of vehicle I've never seen before. A few of them.
Yeah.
Maybe in response to those hover tanks that Megabyte has, they've had to up their hardware, so to speak.
Right.
So basically, Bob's
They got
reporting.
They got
Sorry,
increased
go ahead.
funding.
Yeah, somehow. Yeah, who does fund mainframe? I guess it's expensive. The what's that district? The expensive district?
Kids?
Yeah, the Kits district.
Yeah.
Man, can you imagine the taxes and the rent in that place?
Have
Oh,
not
Bob
computed
can
them.
afford it. He's a guardian.
True.
He's the guardian.
He's the guardian.
Thank
Wonder what he gets paid.
He gets paid in having the best apartment in town,
Yeah.
and
Well,
I
not
don't know.
anymore.
Energon chips.
Not anymore, because his apartment got destroyed last
Oh, yeah.
episode.
So Bob's
Technically,
reporting to-
Bob is homeless.
Technically true.
Yes.
So Bob's reporting to Fong through his glitch. And he's saying that the nulls drained most of Hexadecimal's energy. But she's going to recover. She's just a little out of it.
Hooray.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he says he
Yay.
doesn't need any help bringing her back to Lost Angles. He's going to do it alone just because she trusts Bob.
Yeah.
So she's gone through some trauma in the last few episodes, huh?
Yeah.
Feel bad for her.
Yeah.
Like, what was the... Oh, it was the painted windows when she went through all the existential crisis. Yeah. And she had a therapy television. Wait. That therapy television also summoned the
Almost summoned
symbiote.
Cthulhu through the looking glass.
Michael.
Michael the television.
You like that, do you?
I love that.
Michael the television. Oh god. So what's happening? Oh, Bob's saying keep the sector clear, take a look out for whatever it was that had attacked her.
Right.
And Fong says he can't find it. Whatever came out of her mirror is either gone or it can't be detected by the sensors. Dun dun.
Yeah. And Hex, like, very weakly is all like, Megabyte.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she points and is like, Megabyte. Because Megabyte is right behind
He's
Bob.
literally right beside him. And I'm like, oh man, this guy's got to peek over his shoulder a little more often.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, so the black Megabyte smacks Venom bite, if you will. Smacks Bob away. Doesn't seem to hurt him too much and picks up Hex. And like his hands begin to phase through her shoulders towards her chest and neck.
Yeah, this is wacky.
Yeah. And I'm like, whoa, what's happening here? And we don't get to see because Bob uses glitch to make a wide beam energy field.
Something like that,
Something like that. And it's basically like a little rocket and it shoots Megabyte away from her. And so he reports to Fong and says, Megabyte is trying to merge with Hexadecimal.
And he's talking to Fong as he's like basically like speed walking.
Yeah, brisk pace towards Hexadecimal. And then he sends Glitch out.
It was a weird shot.
He sends Glitch out and he's like, Glitch, car. And Hex is like, Guardian. And she points at Megabyte, who is now running at them.
Mm-hmm.
And he points his arm as if to use Glitch again, but looks at it in shock because his arms are like empty. It says
he's like, oh yeah, right.
He's like, oh yeah, I sent it to go pick up the car.
Yeah, like literally like a second ago.
Yeah. And I'm like, wait, he's the Guardian. Can somebody get this guy a better car?
Well, and I'm also thinking here, like, so is he basically useless without his key tool? Like,
yes.
So, if like, can anyone just be a Guardian then? As long as they have this rad like Swiss Army knife device.
Can other
basically?
people even use it? Has it shown other people using it?
I don't think so. No.
Maybe it's
Not
like
yet,
encoded
anyway.
to him.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe it's like
Enzo's used it. Enzo's used it in season 1.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, in what's the one? The one with the magnet.
You know the one.
You know the one. The thing. The castles and knights.
The magnet. How did he use Glitch?
Bob says, "Go ahead, Enzo. Use give Glitch a try," and then he.
Oh right, he makes a hammer.
Flashlight, and he makes a jackhammer. Yeah.
Mm.
Right. So.
Yeah.
Yes.
And here
I'm like allowing permissions.
And here I was going to be all like, oh, is it maybe like Judge Dredd's Lawgiver pistol or like Blade's sword? If someone else tries to use it other than them, their hand explodes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it fucks him up. But maybe he like
BS&P.
He gave access to Enzo, and normally that's not the case. You know what I mean? Like granting permissions for files.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know what else isn't the case anymore is BS&P, because they were already sold by ABC at this point.
That's right, too.
The show is all YTV, baby, from here on out.
That's why it got a little bit scarier in season 2.
A little bit scarier. Hex is shooting wizard fire from her hands.
Wizard fire.
No. Wizard fire.
Wizard fire, you say?
Wizard fire.
I hope you use that for our upcoming stream, Christopher.
Yeah.
I shoot wizard fire. Christopher's going to be shooting wizard fire soon.
Wizard fire and eye lasers.
Yep.
Yeah, for the listeners, me and Cal are going to be participating in a live stream of a D&D game hosted by my partner.
Yeah, it's kind of like part of like a digital convention kind of lineup for our friend's gaming channel, tabletop gaming.
Yeah, Dork Tales.
Dork Tales. Ooh.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. I'd plug the stream, like the live stream itself, but to be perfectly honest, like this is happening at the time of recording tomorrow. So I doubt like anyone listening to this is actually going to hear it in time. But check out Dork Tales anyway.
All right.
Even if you're listening to this after the fact, look up Dork Tales on Facebook, listeners.
Yeah, you may see our very handsome, normal-looking faces.
Yeah, not our cartoon faces.
Yeah.
Which are even more handsome than our real faces.
Whoa.
In my case, anyway.
Okay. I feel like my little dude that represents me in our little art for the channel. I feel like he looks a little simple. Let's just say that. Not fully functional. So very close, but not quite. Got little beady eyes.
Yeah.
Maybe I do IRL. I don't know. But Hexadecimal's wizard fire doesn't work.
No, he just absorbs it, I think.
He kind of like tanks through it. He just like walks through it, and then she kind of collapses. Now, here's the thing. Maybe if she was at full power, she could show him what for and like tango with him a bit, but she's been like almost completely drained by that whole null escapade.
Mm-hmm.
But before Venom bite gets a hold of them, something like metallic clasps him and raises him off the ground into the air, and it's Dot in the helicopter
and the thing, yeah.
The thing, yeah, the construction plane thing.
Yeah,
but
Megabyte
has none of that. He does the virus thing where he like digs his claws in and like starts turning it blue, metallic.
And Dot's all like, "I don't think so. Not this
again."
time.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she detaches it.
Yeah.
But it lands on a building.
Yeah, it kind of breaks apart and
very comically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the area was evacuated, so. But still. So we cut to Bob in his car with Hex, and he's like, "All right, I need answers. You and Megabyte started to merge back there." Yeah, and she's like, "Yes, Bob, we are from the same viral strain."
The same family?
Yeah. Oh, much worse than that, Guardian. Megabyte is my brother, and she starts cackling.
Because that is laugh-worthy, apparently.
Well, to her. And Bob is like, "But you're always trying to destroy each other."
And she goes, "Well, that's just sibling rivalry." You know.
Yeah, waves it off.
Yeah.
I'm like, I understand.
Yeah.
I've been close to destroying my siblings.
Total deletion.
Yeah, never let them win video games. To be nice, never, not even once.
No.
They're not going to get better if I just go easy on them, right?
No.
I remember absolutely destroying the first video game I played with the first girlfriend I had, Mortal Kombat. Just fucking wrecked her, and she owned it, and I didn't. Right, and I remember her telling me like weeks later or something, like, "Oh, you're supposed to let girls like win at video games, you know?" And I just like looked at her and I was like,
Okay.
"Okay, lady."
Wow.
So,
Maybe that's why I didn't have girlfriends growing up.
Because you destroyed them at video games?
I only ever had one controller.
Oh, that'll explain it. So Bob is like, so what happens if you two merge? And she
the
kind of
next
almost
generation.
the next generation, almost like she's kind of drunk and like out of it,
Yeah.
like a little bit like crazy
loopy.
instead of fearful, loopy, yeah.
Yeah.
And
She's
Dot
real
is
tired,
like,
okay.
yeah, Dot is like, I tried to hold him, but it was no use. And boom, like the
Right here.
symbiote, like Megabyte lands on the hood of Bob's car. Quite freaky. Like he was already like very animalistic and scary before, but he's very scary now. And he like rips Bob's windshield off and grabs Hex and just dives off of the car. And when they land, two beams of red and green light form and a crater forms as if like a Terminator was sent back in time.
Yeah.
And even in a kneeling position like Terminator. And yeah, there's a new virus in town because they merged
Into Fat Megabyte.
He's Fat Megabyte. He does not look as scary as Venom Bite. That's for sure. He's chonky. Let's just say that.
He's chonk.
Yeah. Yeah, so he tells Bob, yeah, new virus in town. Here's a visual. We get an up close of him. He's got some color elements of both Hex and Megabyte. He's got big ass claws. He's got like a little like creature, like little tentacle things that resemble the black tentacle creature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On his back. Yeah.
And Bob is talking to Fong and is all like, I'm going to try and talk to it. Maybe the transformation has created a benign virus.
Yeah.
Which I also
wouldn't that be? We have Gigabyte, which I guess is supposed to be a superior life form to the other two.
I mean, Giga is more than Mega, so.
Yeah.
Very much so.
I'm just going to call him Fat Megabyte.
He is 1,024 megabytes.
Yes. And Bob is like...
As voiced by
much for-
Tigatron.
Oh! How did I not recognize that voice?
Yeah, it's totally. Blue Man Kuma, I believe, is his name.
And that is definitely him. How did I not recognize that? It's very obviously the same voice actor.
Mm-hmm.
They sound different, but I mean, shame on me for not immediately noticing. For anyone listening, Tigatron is one of my favorite characters, one of the favorite Maximals from another TV show by the same studio, Mainframe Entertainment, called Beast Wars. And Christopher and I talk about Beast Wars, the Transformers show, on our other podcast. It's called Too Much Energon. So if you found this and you liked Beast Wars, go check that out.
Yep, wherever you're listening to this, you can also find Too Much Energon.
Yeah.
So Bob kind of gives up on. You'll like the way we sound. I guarantee it. Cough through an intro and sing "Where in the World is Carmen San?" Do terrible Scorponok impressions. Rip in peace.
Talk about viruses eating ass.
Wow.
So Bob is like, well, so much for talking with this guy. Glitch, wide field energy beam. That's his like go-to for like laser blasts. And when he shoots Gigabyte, he just absorbs it.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
then
he's
slashes Bob.
yeah, it actually does like in the back and actually does some damage to his armor.
So as Bob lands, yeah, we see that thing that he wears is like Kevlar or nano weave fiber or something, because there's two big gashes in his back, and we see some sort of like weave or like layered like carbon like
fiber
armor
type thing, yeah.
type of thing, yeah, and it didn't cut him.
Yeah. We've never
Almost
seen that
made it through
before.
his armor. Yeah,
Weird.
it's cool.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I need to think of a better plan, and he gets the fuck out of there. He jumps on his zip board and gets out. He's at least as strong as Megabyte. Yeah, no shit. But he hasn't used any of Hex's powers yet.
Yeah, and Fong speculates that like maybe the transformation has still left him weak.
And he doesn't have access to like Hexadecimal's powers.
Yeah.
Or her, what does he say? Her higher level functions. Yeah.
Including creating a portal to the web.
Which as we now know,
from
Hex
last
can
week.
just do.
Yeah.
She can just do it on a whim. Because Fong says he would have already opened the portal to the net if that were the case. So basically, the plot here is keep him away from energy. He bad man.
So I have a question then. Why
Yeah.
doesn't Megabyte just get Hex to open a portal for him?
Well, remember,
Megabyte doesn't know she can.
Or like we briefly jumped around a few scenes, but one of the lines from last episode was, to think that if Megabyte really wanted a portal to the supercomputer, all he had to do was ask. Ha 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 ha. And
right, yeah.
And I'm like, he would never say please. So that's a funny, yeah. So even if he knows that Hex would do it, he either A, doesn't think that she would be that nice, or B, he could never suck up his pride enough to say, Hex, can you please help me?
Yeah.
Do me a favor. Do me a solid.
Yeah, if my brother was like, hey, Cal, could you help? Before he'd even finish the sentence, I'd be like, no, go fuck yourself. No, I don't care. What are you doing in my room, fucker? And then throw something at him.
All right.
So.
Yeah, so Bob is zipping around on a zip board, and he's talking to Fong, and he's like, he mentions that it's energy absorbing, class 5 virus, and
that means they're gonna have to power down the city to keep him from like stealing energy, right?
Getting
draining
more power,
everything.
Yeah.
And he says he's gonna call for help. And when the vid window closes, Fong is like, help? From who?
From who?
I mean, he is a guardian, so presumably he can just call in reinforcements. I don't know why he hasn't thus far at any point.
Which is wild, because he just turns to his glitch, his what is it called again? A guardian tool?
A key tool.
Key tool, yeah. And he says, glitch, net wide alert. This is Guardian 452 of system mainframe. We've got a class 5 virus, energy absorbing. We need help. So interesting that he can just do that. He's like connected to the supercomputer.
He comes from the net.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
good time to ask for help. But like Christopher said,
Yeah,
why isn't he like they've been in all kinds of catastrophes before, and he's never thought to just ask for help. Like
I think this one,
I think
this one would pose like a fatal threat to mainframe.
Well, the one that comes to my mind is the Medusa bug.
Yeah,
like pretty serious fucking business. I'd say even more dangerous than this right now. And if it wasn't for if Hex was just straight up like evil, and didn't give a fuck,
Yeah.
like mainframe wouldn't exist.
Yeah,
and
I
he
guess
had to go back to the net and with his head hung low.
I guess the big danger with Gigabyte is he can open a portal to the net and enter other systems
bad.
at will and drain all of their energy.
Becoming presumably more powerful and
Yeah.
I am become Gigabyte, destroyer
God.
of systems.
yeah, he says that, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Although
he
Bob just kinda says-
references Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bob's just kind of
Gigabyte.
not having it. He's like, not this system.
I don't think
Oh
so.
yeah, Enzo.
Yeah.
Sorry, Enzo. Dot. Apparently that like helicopter thing she was in can also
Yeah.
shoot energy blasts because she swoops down to shoot Gigabyte
Yeah.
and he absorbs it. Yeah. Bob screams no, but it's too late. He absorbs a bunch of power and Dot, because she's always well informed, she immediately goes, "Oh great, a class 5." So class 5 must be energy absorbing viruses.
Yeah.
I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, so Bob,
This isn't even my final form.
You fools. This isn't even my final form. I get fatter and hungrier. Bring me ass. I'm looking at you, Mouse. Only the finest ass will do. Bring me the one called Mouse.
Oh man. I'm dying.
Oh geez, so what's going on here? Bob and Dot managed to narrowly escape, but when Fong powers down the rest of the city, I guess there's a citywide energy network because as the baudway kind of like dissipates, their zip boards stop working.
Yeah.
And they happen to land in an alley, a one-way like dead-end alley. And I'm like, why?
Wow,
Why
that's
would you
bad.
land in here?
Yeah, that's bad luck on their part.
Speaking of bad luck,
Yeah, Gigabyte's
the
already
end.
there.
I'm like, how? You guys gained like at least like 6 blocks away from him, and it's only shown him walking at a brisk pace. Like Gigabyte has not been fast so far.
It's
Or
those
so we know.
Only
transfinite power limits.
Yeah.
It's like Jason Voorhees. Like off camera, he seems to teleport around and move very quickly, but on camera, he's like slow as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Like some sort of like just villain like supernatural killer powers. Speaking of supernatural killer, as he slowly
he moves at a plot driven pace.
That's it.
Yeah, anyway, speaking of serial killers.
Yeah, sorry, speaking of serial killers, he does a thing this scared me when I was a kid. He like puts his claws on the wall and like slowly drags them along the wall as he walks toward Dot and Bob.
Yeah, this
like
is
breaking pipes and stuff like that along the way.
I'm pretty sure this is a Nightmare on Elm Street homage.
That's definitely a Krueger.
Yeah, I'm
like
pretty sure.
homage.
I'm pretty sure in one of the early Nightmare films, Freddy Krueger does that
Definitely.
with his claw hand.
Yeah.
I think he's the first. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's become a trope since then, but yeah, I recall sparks coming from his hands and as he did something like that.
Yeah.
And as he walks towards them, he stops to exchange words for some reason. And Fat Megabyte. Oh, before they exchange words, sorry, there's a little moment between Bob and Dot. Bob is like, Dot, I want you to know, and there's kind of like sad music in the background. And before he says anything, she's like, I know, Bob. I know.
It's like, thanks,
So
Dot, I want you to know, it was me who gave you herpes.
all the girls that ever Guzzled my spum. You were the best. I don't know where that came from.
Dot, I always enjoyed eating your ass the most.
Jesus.
Uh.
See. Anyways, so the touching moment which Christopher has interluded with eating behinds.
I just looked it up on the ReBoot wiki. The claw thing is indeed a reference to the first Nightmare on Elm Street.
I couldn't possibly think of what else it could be.
Yeah.
That's every time you see that in a movie, it's absolutely the Freddy Krueger started that shit. And sorry, where were we? Oh, right. I think this is supposed to be like they're getting ready to face their doom, and Bob wants to say things that have been unsaid, right? Certain romantic feelings, and they both like. Dot says, "I know, Bob, I know." So like they acknowledge that there's something going on there. They just never had the chance to talk about it.
Yeah.
And Gigabyte is Gigabutt is like, there is no point in resisting, Guardian. Hand over your key tool. Oh, he's very cavalier all of a sudden.
Yes. I need its energy.
I have Shakespeare in the Park to get to after this.
I can't live
energy.
if living is without you. I can't live. I can't live.
Oh God.
Oh dear.
So Bob does something I think is really cool. He just turns to his key tool and he's like, glitch away. So even if he's going, at the very least, he can stop Gigabreath from absorbing all of Glitch's power.
Yeah.
So good move. And Fat Megabyte's like, 2 sprites will do just as well. I mean, 2 sprites?
2 sprites will do just as well.
Ha ha!
Ha ha!
And he moves his menacing claw to fuck him up, and
2 asses to eat.
2 for the price of 1. An ass buffet.
An ass buffet.
Buffet. We make ourselves laugh, listeners. So speaking
And the
of
listener is just like you and only you.
Our listener. Speaking of
asses,
Mouse is here.
Hey.
And she has a samurai sword, and she fucking cuts off Gigabyte's menacing arm.
Lops it off.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gigabyte kind of looks at his arm in astonishment.
I say.
Not really pain. Yeah, he's just like, well,
I
now,
say.
it seems you have disarmed me.
I appear to have. He's armless now.
Man, I'm disarmed. If only I had eye lasers.
And she kind of shoulders the samurai sword, and she's like, "You called, sugar?" And she has like a little soundbite that accompanies her. I've noticed. Yeah, like a little twinkling kind of sound.
Yeah.
Did you miss me? And she like gives him a wink. So what seems to be like a...
I did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did.
The hottest babe in the net is back on the show.
For now.
And I'm here for it.
Yep. For now, she's the hottest babe. Just saying.
No spoilers. Right. Come on.
Right.
How is that a spoiler?
For now.
Well, it technically is, yeah. But
is it?
It does. That was a joke.
No, it's not. But anyways, what's clearly a commercial, and apparently Fat Megabyte can only can only hurt people with his like claw arm.
Yeah, how did they... Yeah, sorry, go on.
They just ran past him.
Apparently.
He's like a fiddler crab. Is that what they're called?
Fiddler crab?
What am I thinking of? The crab. There's a lot of crab species with like one giant like arm, right? This is what Fat Megabyte is. He's just got one big giant energy sucking arm, and the other one's useless apparently because it shows.
There was actually a Beast Wars toy. I think it was called Razor Claw. That was one of those crabs. It had like its like right claw was huge and its left claw was small.
Oh, there's a. Oh, okay, yeah. It's a crab thing. Which, as anybody that's interested in marine biology knows, it's not for practical use. It is an evolution of like it's a mating signal. So they ended crabs with like one giant.
Check out the size of my pincher over here.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got like a giant, like one giant arm, and then like another, like more practical, like arm, and yeah, female crabs dig it. The one giant arm.
Huh. The more you know.
See, I try to give us some animal. Yeah, it is a fiddler crab that has like one gigantic. Google it if you're listening. Yeah, the fiddler crab has like one giant pincher, like bigger than its whole body, and then like a tiny, like little one. On its side.
And I mean, Gigabyte being useless without his claw. I mean, Bob is apparently useless without his key tool, so
fair enough. Yeah. A smaller number of ghost crabs and mango crab species are from the same family as the fiddler crab. Mango crabs are in Metal Gear Solid 3.
Huh.
Are they pretty tasty?
They're pretty tasty. Crab got my knife.
Crab battle.
Crab battle. Wow. There's a blast from the past.
Yeah, some like mid 2000s like
net
internet
Newgrounds.
Newgrounds shit. Yeah.
Wow. Crab got my knife. Gonna have to practice with the CQC the boss taught me. Anyways, man, we really can't get through a single episode without somehow talking about Metal Gear Solid. Anyways.
Well, I actually have something to bring up on that front later, but I'll wait until we get
later.
There.
Okay.
Yeah. Something I read on Wikipedia that is very wrong. And I'll point out why when we get there.
So we're in Mouse's. What is this? A jet? A ship?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her hover ship.
Kind of reminds me of like the X-Men's like Harrier jet thing. And Dot has some words with her. She's like, "Oh, what are you doing here? Last time you were here, you nearly deleted my little brother."
Yeah. That's got some stuff.
Yeah.
And some little
Bob's all like, "Oh, give me a fucking break, lady. She saved our lives, okay?"
Yeah.
Which I'm like, yeah, fair. I get holding grudges, but she did just save your ass. So
maybe not bring up again, you can have grudges with people. She's technically a villain. Your brother almost died. Like, I understand, but
now's not the time.
Maybe bring that up a little bit later. And it's supposed to show this tension between what is nebulously, possibly one of Bob's old flings and his current girlfriend, right? So there's supposed to be this jealousy, love triangle thing going on.
Yeah. So they fly toward the principal office and they radio Fong, and Bob's all like, "Let us in," and Fong's like, "No, I won't let Mouse into the principal office."
Fuck her. Last time she was here, she tried to steal shit.
And she's all like, "Haha, that's cute," and hacks it and just hacks into the shield and drops it herself.
Yeah, and then Fong's like,
Fong is just like,
well,
you might as well come in then.
Oh. I like how defeated he's
just like, all right, okay.
Yeah, so like it or not, she's coming in.
Yeah,
I love that. She only partially lowered the shield too, so it's not like she disabled it.
Yeah.
I suppose that's her idea of behaving. That's it. Put these girls in a tub full of Jello and let them wrestle it out.
please.
Usually
Wow.
it's the one that's like, oh god, whenever I make perverted things. I was not expecting you to be like, please.
Yeah, you were quick with that one too.
Okay,
I
I'm starting to
second it.
figure Aiden out. Jello, wet t-shirt, cat fights, okay, and mouse. Got it. I'm figuring
right.
him out.
Yep. Yep.
Oh god, so what? Oh, right, the reason Gigabyte's not using Hex magic is because Hex didn't have any energy when they combined.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
So
sense.
He's got to go around and
Zap things.
yeah,
Suck
gotta
their
go.
power.
Got to go all Cole McGrath and drain all the electricity from the city.
Yeah. Well, he tries.
For the listeners, that was a reference to the 2009 PlayStation game Infamous.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Cole McGrath was the character you play as in that game,
Cold,
and
yeah, electricity powers.
yeah, and you recharge your powers by draining sources of electricity around the city. I fucking loved that game back in the day.
There was a
never played it.
standalone. There was a standalone game that was for PS4, I think, and it was called like Last Light or First Light or
First Light, I think it was. Yeah,
First Light. It's like a 2-hour game, 3-4 hour game or something. Genuinely enjoyed that all the way through, and I even like 100%ed it. She uses neon gas that she can like turn into a plasma. I liked it. I dug it.
There was a standalone expansion to Infamous 2 as well on the PS3 called. Actually, you know what? I can't remember what it's called, but it was Halloween themed, and Cole became a vampire, and you could turn into bats and like a flock of bats and shit like that.
Oh, that's a little wild.
It was fun, yeah. Anyway, speaking of wild,
here
Mouse's
we are
hair.
with Mouse's hair is wild.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it.
Also, speaking of wild, Indiana Jones decides now's a good time to park his car.
Oh, I didn't even recognize that as Indiana Jones at first.
The satchel and the hat.
That's hilarious. Random, but also funny.
Indiana Jones binom.
Yep. Indiana.
And I was rooting for him to like whip him, but like Gigabyte gingerly like touches him with his fingertips of his claws and just like sucks his energy out. Fingertips.
Touches him with his fingertips.
If we've learned anything about this show, that the references don't really make sense. We can
Do they need to?
We can combine, Sean Connery and Star Trek. Why? Because we like those two things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that killed me for some reason.
Yeah. Anyway, back at the principal office.
Yeah, basically, like Andrea's like, we're safe in the principal office because of the shield, and Fong is like, Andrea, you stupid kid. The principal office shield is made entirely of energon. And she's like, huh? If he traps into it, he will gain untold power.
Untold of power.
Wow, I'm looking at the Wikipedia.
I need some
page.
reverb on this.
I'm looking at the Wikipedia page, like the list of reboot episodes, and not to get too far ahead, but like season 3, they hired real writers for season 3. Like holy shit.
Yeah.
There are some like heavy hitting names if you're familiar.
Honestly,
if you're familiar with comics.
I can't even recall anything from season 3. Loose things here or there, but very little. So I'm excited for it.
Like episodes written by Marv Wolfman, who was the creator of Blade, Len Wein, who was the creator of Wolverine, Dan DiDio, who was editor-in-chief at Marvel Comics for a long time, DC Fontana, who wrote a number of episodes of Star Trek: The Original Series. Holy shit! Yeah, they got real writers for season 3.
You calling these writers not real writers?
Shame.
They got known professionals to write season 3. Is all I'll say.
I see. That was a good
and-
save. Don't want anybody listening to this show. Hey, excuse me. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure I'll fucking hear about that in the comments.
Assuming anybody's listening to this.
Oh, we get
So-
we get comments on just about every episode. Comments
that's
or
good.
emails on just about every episode now.
Oh shit, cool.
Usually from like 1 or 2 people, but
Still, it's
Yeah.
something.
yeah. Shout out to you listeners.
So
We love you.
Yes.
Enzo is like, so how are we going to stop this guy? Because he absorbs energy.
Yeah.
So they got to do it the old-fashioned way, I guess. And I'm like, wait a second, Mouse just chopped his arm off, seemingly really easily. Could you also?
Just
And
cut
he
him
had
up.
chonky arms. Could you just like cut all of his limbs off? Like, what can he do without limbs? Even if he doesn't die, which he won't, like, he can't reattach his limbs if he has no limbs to reattach.
Oh, that's a good point.
And she did it, like, effortlessly.
Maybe he could like awkwardly
It was a
roll around on the ground and like try and line up his his like arm hole.
Just
rise
his
about,
legs
you know.
away. Take his arms and legs away and throw it in the sea of energy tears.
Take his head for good measure.
Yeah, cut his head off. Put it
Cut
in a
off-
box.
Cut off his arms and legs.
The way his head
and
is,
his
you
head,
need a
and
melon.
spread
ball.
them across the 5 corners of England.
See you at the party, Victor.
I was trying to reference Braveheart there,
I
but like
know.
Yeah.
I couldn't get the accent. I couldn't get it like mid sentence.
Fair. Sometimes it's hard doing those UK accents.
Can be, yes.
Yeah, so Bob has an idea. He's like, let's give him all the energy he needs. And everyone looks at him in
Enzo's
shock.
like, what?
Art.
If we give him a huge
Word.
jolt of energy, but Fong is like, no, we can't let him into the core.
Yeah.
That means our only option is a tear from the energy sea.
And then we see more comedy between Dot and Mouse. Because
Yeah.
Dot was like,
Constantly.
oh, I'm going to say that. And then Mouse beats her to it. And then she's all pissed off.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
It's pretty classic.
Yeah,
and
so
she
so
kind
they-
of has a shit-eating grin on her.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they decide that they need Mouse's ship to go and lasso a tear, and she's
And,
all like,
he
I'm
needs
gonna
Someone else
need
to go with her.
yeah, she's all like, I'm gonna need someone else to come with me because it's a 2 sprite job. I think she wanted Bob to go with her.
Yeah, she looks pretty pissed that the Dot is the one that ended up going with her.
I didn't really get that. I think Dot is more just pissed that she was chosen to go with Mouse rather than
Well,
Mouse being
when it
pissed.
cuts to the next scene, it shows Mouse flying, and she
Yep.
has a really angry face.
Yeah,
Really angry
yeah, she does.
Oh,
she
I thought it
doesn't
was
look
just like
happy.
concentrated. Like,
No, she didn't want Dot there.
I'm going to make that the show art for this episode.
Her scowling,
nice.
and so she's like, "So while you're pilot, Dot's like, what should I do?" And Mouse is like, "If you're not too busy, honey, could you make me an energy shake?"
Just like the most sarcastic line. Oh my god.
Dot's reactions are great.
Yeah,
She like
She,
turns
like,
her
turns
head and like
away and
screams
starts-
internally,
Yeah.
it starts like trembling and is like, just like
pursing her lips.
Yeah,
Yeah, holding in a scream.
I fucking burst out into laughter when I watched this episode yesterday. At that moment,
Her head is like trembling,
yeah.
and I'm like, "Whoa, keep it together, Dot."
Uh,
So we're back in the principal office in a munitions storage, like
Which is-
huge warehouse.
Loaded to the teeth with
Huge. It's like a mile long.
like warheads and rockets and ammo boxes everywhere.
Yeah, Bob gestures to his back, which has the slashes in it, and he says, "My body armor took some big hits out there, Fong. Anything you've got would help. I have said it before, and I will say it again.
This is not
This is
the
not the
supercomputer.
supercomputer. We should really rehearse that and then release that on the show.
Too late for that.
Too late for
Damn.
that shit.
Damn.
The show must go on in as little takes as possible."
Okay, fine.
Um.
I thought it would have been great for this
So
episode.
when Bob simultaneously says, "This is not the supercomputer," at the same time as Fong, he just like looks at him in disbelief. And he adjusts his little glasses and he's like, "But I may be able to help find something for you."
Mm.
Yeah, and
Thanks, Fong.
yeah, and what happens then? Like Bob gets dropped off in front of Gigabyte.
Yeah, he warns him. He's like, "You and Glitch will be the biggest source of energy, so like, please don't give it to Gigabyte."
Yeah.
"I'm going to lure Gigabyte to floating point," which looks like the golf course area of Mainframe. The multi-layered like 3D golf course that I always point out, but we've never actually visited much.
Mm.
Kind of looks like that, right?
It kind of does.
Yeah, like 3D chess, but
Yeah.
a golf course.
Yeah, that's what I was getting
golf.
Yeah.
But when he shows up, he looks badass.
Okay, so this is what I want to point out. He shows up in some pretty dope, like, black body armor.
I love it.
On Wikipedia, not on the ReBoot wiki, but on Wikipedia, it says Bob's special body armor is based on Solid Snake's protective gear. Metal Gear Solid hadn't come out at this point. Metal Gear Solid didn't come out until 3 years later.
Ooh.
And in the 8-bit Metal Gear game, Snake did not wear the sneaking suit. He just wore, like, generic army, like, camo army gear.
Oh, so it couldn't have been the first? What? You're right.
So whoever wrote this is dumb.
And if anyone's, I feel like our entire podcast of us referencing Metal Gear Solid has completely led to this moment.
Yeah.
Listeners, like, you don't want to debate Christopher when it comes to Metal Gear Solid. He's beaten it over 40 times.
So yeah.
He knows what time it came out. He knows the air date of this episode.
Yeah, this episode aired on December in Canada on December 27th, 1995. Metal Gear Solid was released in North America in, I believe it was October 1998.
Suck it, Wikipedia.
So whoever wrote that on Wikipedia, kiss my ass.
Shame. Eat my ass, guy on Wikipedia.
Kiss my ass. Kiss your ass. Kiss his ass. Kiss his ass too.
No.
Did somebody say ass? So, back to Bob and his badass body armor. He says it's like covering his face. Speaking of X-Men, he kind of looks like Cyclops' like face covering thing. Covers the top and sides of his head. Leaves room for his silver dreads, though. And he says,
actually,
Glitch.
It reminds me more of Gambit.
Oh, yeah, maybe that's who I'm
thinking
bit,
yeah.
It kind of reveals part of his face, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like that same, like, kind of basic T shape. The opening is, like, T-shaped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking it's very X-Men-like. And this armor looks like, holy shit, like, dude, you need to wear this all the time.
I know, right?
And he looks like he's ready to kick some ass. Eat some ass and kick some bubblegum. And he's like, Glitch, solid state mode. And I'm like, aw shit, son, here we go. Solid state, which apparently is a big ass shield.
I didn't even think this isn't the first time that they've referenced solid state. I didn't even think solid state drives existed at this point, but I guess they did.
I mean, barely anyone had a PC at this point.
Yeah.
Well, relatively speaking, as compared to now.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought all drives were mechanical at this point, but no, I guess solid state did exist.
Smash the solid state.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen So, I'm wondering what the
Smash
graffiti
the-
for Smash
the
the Solid
solid-
State.
Smash the solid statriarchy.
Yeah. So is the solid state a bad thing? Is it like some sort of like militaristic? I don't know. Who
I don't
cares?
know. I think we're
Anyway,
overthinking it.
Dot's worried. She's in the ship with Mouse, and Mouse is like, Sugar, I've known that guardian a lot longer than you. And I've seen him get out of a lot tougher scrapes than this. Now
Right.
make yourself useful, honey, and scan me some tears.
And I'm still waiting on that energy shake.
So when Bob said glitch, solid state mode, what did that do? Did that like power
It-
him up?
No, it turned Glitch into a shield.
No, because in this scene he says glitch, shield, and then it turns into a shield.
Oh. Then
I just
I
realized
that's right.
this.
Yeah, then I don't know.
Oh man, that's gonna bug me forever. Anyways, yeah, he said glitch solid state mode. It cut to Mouse and Dot. Comes back. He says glitch shield, and then it turns into a shield. So now I'm like super curious. Anyways, I'll look into that later, and I'll update you two if I find
Glitch.
anything.
Solid snake mode.
Solid snake, and a box just appears, and he starts creeping around. And Gigabyte's like, what?
Time
Fuck.
paradox. You can't do that.
The
Snake.
game over music starts. That little.
Dun 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 dun. Fuck! I feel like we just have to like record like a podcast about Metal Gear at this
Just
like
one.
at some point. Just one, yeah, like a one-off thing about Metal Gear
Talking
Solid.
about the from beginning to end the Metal Gear franchise.
Yeah,
And our experience with it, more importantly. Yeah, because I'm most familiar with 3, which was Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater?
you're still in a dream.
Kind of, yeah.
Mm.
I'm still in a Pime Paradox. But when... Sorry,
That is most people's favorite Metal Gear.
I don't
game.
know why I liked that so much.
It's not my favorite personally. Mine
Yeah.
is my favorite is the Black Sheep, which is Metal Gear Solid 2.
2.
Because
I love 2.
I love how fucking bananas the story gets at the like toward the end.
It's the most bananas.
Oh, absolutely, and I love it. I'm there for it, 110%. But a lot of people don't like MGS2 for that reason.
There was just a lot of moving around in between areas you've already been to. Anyways,
Yeah.
it does have the... If you like vampires and Magneto, go play Metal Gear Solid 2. But speaking of Gigabytes, I don't know.
Gigabytes.
Gigabytes, Gigglebutts. Gigabytes is like, you cannot be serious, Guardian. You expect to defeat me with primitive weapons?
Yep.
And I'm like,
Yep.
well, yeah. I mean, your arm got cut off by a sword earlier, dude.
It's pretty primitive. It's like
Mm-hmm.
primitive.
Enough talk. Let's do this. And he extends like a little, like,
I don't know what it is.
arm baton shield, right?
And he
Like
takes
sort
the
of like baton.
he delivers the weakest punch I've ever seen.
This little uppercut to him because like Gigabyte's 11 feet tall and he boops him in the chin. And if that hit anybody else, they might be knocked silly. But because he's extending his reach,
Yeah.
it's like he tickles Gigabyte's chin, and the reaction from Gigabyte is actually quite hilarious.
Yeah.
Like his head just kind of looks back down as if he was like booped on the nose, and he roars at Bob.
Yeah.
Doesn't hit him directly, just roars at him, and instead of like clawing him, he uses his other non-claw arm to like punch him in the gut. And then effortlessly he like looms his claw over like a Bob who's fallen on his back, and he's like, "Do you really think you could stand?" Thanks. "You really think you can stand against me alone?"
And then
I'm
surprise.
fallen, and I
A
can't
sing-
get up.
A single Bob beat me.
After all the ass I've eaten today.
And Hack and Slash appear out of nowhere, and they're like, "No, not alone!" And they Hack and Slash like punch him, punch his
they
ass
just
out.
wind up, and they have these super extensive arms. They just and
they double fist that ass.
Yeah, extendo punch him.
all right, I'm going.
And they're like, "No way! No, we're a gang
He
now."
called him Fatso. He's like,
Yeah,
no way, Fatso.
Oh,
Yeah,
Fat
I like
Megabyte
that.
confirmed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fat Megabyte confirmed. Now where's our boss? And they get all like tough, and that's a good thumbnail, Christopher.
Yeah.
The two standing with Bob with his arms like on his hips in the back. They're a good gang, but Mouse is also Mouse, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good
Sure.
screenshot. Them scowling at Gigabyte. And
Yeah,
we're out in the energy sea, gentlemans. Say cheese.
Jeez.
Ches.
Where the hell did that
So
go?
there's not much going on. I'm just gonna summarize this.
They find a tear.
They
and
find
they grab
a tear.
They try
find
to
a tear
grab
and they attempt to grab a tear. We cut quick back to Bob, and it comically shows Bob talking to Glitch, and he's like, "Hack and Slash have got him occupied for now. How's the tear coming?" It's now or never, and they're like, "Yeah, we're on it."
Oh, and
Fong says commencing sector release now.
Yeah.
And that sector, that piece of the pie that's mainframe, like floats away off into the energy sea. And I'm like, "Oh shit. That'll do it."
Yep.
I mean, Bob's stuck out there, but that's a good start.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Wait, so the sea is made of energy, yes.
Correct.
Couldn't Gigabyte just go for a swim?
Well, presumably it's so unstable that if he landed in it, he would be dead.
Yeah.
It would like be too much or
Moderation.
whatever. Yeah.
Too much energon.
Too much energon. Speaking of energon, Mouse and that's what gets Aiden.
I guess.
So
Go on. This is all these great
the
segues.
emphasis
I'm
that I
loving
said
this.
it with.
These last two episodes we've done, I've had some incredible segues.
So speaking of too much energon, Mouse is using a PlayStation 1 controller.
Which is
Yeah.
kind of wacky because the PS1 had only been out for a few months at this point.
It's definitely a PlayStation controller.
No, it is 100%.
Yeah.
It's an original PlayStation, like pre-Dual Shock PlayStation controller. I'm just saying, like, I think it's wacky that they went with that because, like, the PlayStation only came out a few months before this episode aired.
Oh, interesting design choice. Wasn't by accident.
No, it definitely wasn't.
And what she starts doing, presumably with the PlayStation controller, she's like on an extended little platform outside of her ship, is she starts putting like an energy scaffolding, like a D20 kind of like shape, a dodecahedron, if you will.
Dodecahedron.
And
so just for like whatever reason, the PlayStation was released in Japan on December 3rd, 1994, and in North America on September 9th, 1995.
So they would have just taken. I was actually going to say that it's probably in Japan before it was in North America. So they probably just modeled it under like from a Japanese model. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, well, no, a dodecahedron is 12 sides. So what's a D20?
I have no idea.
It's
a Googleplex.
It's pentagonal.
Yeah,
So
good enough.
Yeah.
Sexagonal. Assagonal.
An icosahedron.
Oh.
icosahedron every day.
Sometimes twice a day.
What the hell, man?
That's wildly inappropriate. Christopher, you're fired.
All right, I'm out of here. Podcast over.
So while Christopher is icosahedroning for the second time today, the tear kind of destabilizes and Mouse falls. And as she's falling into the energy sea, Mouse pulls some wild fucking pilot skills and manages to orient the ship perfectly to not only catch Mouse.
Dot.
Sorry, Dot. Yeah. To not only catch Mouse, but put her safely and relatively harmlessly back into her driving one of the seats. And I'm like, holy shit.
Mad
over here.
It's pretty great,
mad piloting skills.
Great maneuver.
Yeah.
What a maneuver.
Yeah.
Manhoover.
Speaking of Manhoover.
Here we go.
No, Mouse is like, I guess I owe you one. And Dot's like, actually consider us even.
Yeah.
So yeah, they saved each other. And they're coming to terms with...
I was like, oh, you are useful. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm noticing a trend that the longer we record, the more nonsensical we get.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? We're fine, damn it.
So now we're back at floating point.
Yeah, with Gigabyte very slowly and pathetically trying to grab...
It's actually very funny.
Yeah, I mean, these two guys could have taken them on their own almost.
Yeah.
Real quick, I'm gonna say I really like Dot's little wink that she does.
Oh, at Mouse, yeah.
At Mouse, yeah.
That's a good wink.
It's a good wink, gotta say.
Yeah.
Pretty cute.
I'm a fan of the wink.
I like the wink.
I like it a lot.
I like it a lot.
Oh, jeez.
I like winks. I like winking.
I like winking too.
I also like to blink, which is like a wink, but with both my eyes.
Look at this guy talking about winking. I like to wink, but it's with one eye. It's so easy to do your own hack and slash stand-up.
I'm looking at Slash here, and he picks up a garbage can and he hits Gigabyte with it. I don't know if anybody noticed that. But it was
I
so
didn't
funny.
see that.
It's a slobber knocker over there. It looks like, and maybe if Bob was helping, they could have I don't know. They could have avoided hack being drained, which is what happens.
They're battling for the WWF Hardcore Championship. Okay.
Yeah, 1 versus 2.
Yeah, it's a battle royale.
And unfortunately, Hack and Slash do not win. Hack, the red one, if anybody was wondering.
Oh, Hack.
Is absorbed. His energy is sucked in, and he's left lifeless on the ground, mostly see-through.
Yeah.
Translucent, if you will.
Yeah.
And he's not responsive.
Poor Slash.
Yeah, and Slash is like, drain my friend of energy? I don't think so. And he uppercuts him. He uppercuts him so hard he sends him flying
Launches
10 kilometers.
Right back into
mainframe.
Yeah.
You idiot.
God damn it.
Look what you've done.
What?
That's literally what Bob says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fong, cancel everything I just said.
Yeah.
Gigabyte's back in town.
Couldn't they have
on my
done
way.
that first?
And I love this, where he's just like, Slash, come here.
Yeah.
Fly me back to mainframe.
Let me explain to you why you're stupid. Yeah.
Oh, that's how he gets back.
Yeah, I presume that he just wanted Blue Guy to fly him back.
Glitch airplane.
Glitch airplane.
Yeah. Glitch private jet.
Well, or Slash fly mode.
Prime jets on.
I don't like LA.
No, he does. He said that in a recent episode.
Yeah, last episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like LA.
So Gigabyte is at the principal office now, and it turns out he can fly. He has finally figured out how to access hexadecimals. Flight capabilities.
That's not what I thought.
Yeah.
Because Bob says, Fong, look out. Hack's energy may enable him to, and then it pauses for dramatic effect, fly.
But it's interesting because Hex can actually fly.
She can float, yeah. So in a sense, either or both is correct. Because it's Hack's energy and Hack can fly. So maybe but he floats here. So maybe what he means is, yes, Hack's energy specifically lets him fly, or Hack's energy was just enough to now let him have access to Hex's fly ability.
I think it's the latter.
Yeah, so I can understand both of those.
Either or. It doesn't really matter.
He basically floats like a creepy fucker. Yeah, the ladder. He used the ladder.
It's the ladder. Just climb it.
The latter, as opposed to the former.
It was a bad joke. I know.
Don't worry. I know it was a bad joke, Aiden.
I know too.
That's why no one went for it.
I'm just making it clear.
Yeah.
He's just making it clear it was a bad joke.
Moving on.
We can't let you live it down, you son of a bitch.
Moving on.
6 months from now, I'll be like, hey, remember when you made that terrible ladder joke?
How does it feel to be terrible?
It feels pretty great.
Feels pretty great, assholes.
Feels good, man. Feels good.
Speaking of feels good, Gigabyte feels pretty fucking good absorbing the principal office's shield. And I'm like, Fong, the fuck? Why haven't you lowered the shield?
Well,
right?
He then
kind
does
of a lose-lose. You know, he could get all the energy from the field, gain access to the principal office even quicker.
Well,
so I guess it was just a means of like slowing him down.
Yeah, I feel like if he's going to get into the principal office anyway. So, do you want him to get in sooner, or do you want him to get in later, but with way more juice?
Or latter. No,
we want him to get in latter.
Yes.
Plenty of opening that to eat in there.
God damn it! And anyways, he slashes open Gigabyte. Fat Megabyte slashes open the those giant bronze doors effortly, and he's like, "At last, all of this system's ass is mine." and I'm like, "What do you mean at last? You've only been in mainframe for 10 minutes."
I know. I think he I think in terms of personality and sentience, I think he's mostly still just Megabyte.
It feels like it.
Yeah.
Because he's like, at last, and I'm like, what do you mean at last, dude? You've barely been here an afternoon. A cycle.
Dude, you're only 15 minutes old.
Right? And he looks down and Enzo and Andrea are just there. And he blinks in confusion. And Andrea aims her little spine, her little what is it, a little wrist?
Like arrows.
Arrow, like a crossbow.
Yeah, and I think it's funny that Enzo does the same thing,
even
though he doesn't have any kind of
nothing.
Wrist weapon.
Pretending he has a key tool or something on his wrist. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. And I'm like, hey, hold up. Is Andrea cooler than Enzo? Don't answer all at once.
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I just saw a thumbnail that you shared, Sniddler.
Oh yeah.
Fat Megabyte is like, what does he say? Oh God, that's a good one. Bob looking back at the camera. How did you capture that?
Be like, nothing to see here.
10 out of 10. Nothing to see
this
here.
Doesn't concern you. Yeah.
My eating of the ass concerns no one. That is great. I'm saving that.
Yeah, so Gigabyte drains Frisket.
Yeah, he's like, this is your last defense? 2 little children and a dog? I'll take the dog.
And
And
he drains Frisket, and Andrea's like goes to comfort him, and Bob's all like, he'll be fine. And then Gigabyte is like, none of you will be fine, Guardian.
Yeah, that's a good line.
Yeah.
Don't lie to the child. You're all going to die.
Children.
There's no
You'll all
Santa
be
Claus
dead.
either. Yeah.
That's going too far.
Fine, Easter Bunny.
There's
So-
no Santa Claus.
Enzo freaks out about Frisket, and Bob is kind of like, don't worry, he'll be fine. He just needs some energy.
Just drained and weak.
Yeah.
It doesn't even take any licks to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop. You just
damn
have to bite it.
Bite right into it. Ah! That's my
Yeah.
specialty. Biting into Tootsie. So I don't even know what the fuck is happening here. Oh, right. He's like,
I don't actually know how we got on.
Get you. Fuck you.
Oh.
And
Oh god.
he's like, you're delaying the inevitable and the delicious. And Bob's like, exactly. And he's like, what?
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 Yeehaw, heads up, cutie pie. And I'm like, who are you talking to?
Yeah, speaking of ass.
Yeah, speaking of ass, Mouse
And
piloting
Dot
the
show
ship.
up.
All right.
Yeah. They throw the tear right at Fat Megabyte.
Yeah.
And he like ascends into the air like he's stuck inside of the tear. And he's like, my god, the power!
Anna John, yes.
In its purest form!
So much Anna John.
Oh my.
Wow.
I know exactly what scene you're referencing. That's the sad part. I've been doing this so long with Christopher. I know exactly what minute and what episode of Beast Wars Christopher is referring to.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah.
1990, 2021.
Yep.
And Bob's like, hey, ass licker, this is power we could both use. And he says, glitch, splitter.
You know what's interesting is not only is 2021 the 25th anniversary of Beast Wars, it is also the 20th anniversary of the conclusion of ReBoot.
Oh?
Yeah.
Oh.
ReBoot ended in 2001.
Yeah, that's right too.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So what a time to be doing podcasts about these shows.
Indeed.
Cheers.
So Splitter apparently is open. It turns the tear into that perfect orb, and we've seen this before, right?
into a portal, yeah.
But it seems that Gigabyte is stuck in
Contained.
it,
Yeah. Contained.
and he even screams "No!" and his like little weird black octopus like tentacle rise
Coming off, yeah.
Yeah. And the front of the orb like flickers in between the three viruses, the symbiote, the Megatron, and hexadecimal, and it splits into three little orbs.
Mm.
And they all go like shooting off into the distance.
Yeah.
Even Bob seems surprised. He's like, 3?
Yeah.
Trey.
Odd. It's a thing that binds the two.
Yeah, so there's some
A Venom symbiote. Yes.
yeah, so Bob essentially goes, hey, great flying. Couldn't have done it without you, to Mouse. And she's like, actually, Bob, it was Dot flying my ship.
She saved all our butts.
And then she cuts right in between Mouse and Bob, and I just noticed she shoves Mouse. I just noticed that.
It's like,
And she's like, what were you saying about seeing something, Bob? And she puts her arm around him. Right? Yeah. She puts her arm around him.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, yeah, when Glitch split Gigabyte, there were 3 signals, Megabyte, hexadecimal, and a third one.
And Mouse is all like, that's strange. Did you track it? And grabs Bob's forearm.
The one with Glitch.
And then pulls away.
Yeah.
And Dog's just all like, who cares? We did it. Chalk went up for the good guys.
Yeah, after like shoving Mouse's arm away. And the first time I watched this earlier today, I was like, she shoves Mouse's arm away like really quick, but Mouse grabbing his arm was very weird. Like very obviously weird.
Yeah.
And then as Bob's like, you're right, there's something fishy at the heart of Mainframe, or rotten.
There's something rotten at the heart of Mainframe. A
Yeah.
reference
We
to Hamlet.
zoom. Yeah, we. Oh, yeah, good catch.
Yeah. Something is rotten in the state of Denmark, and Hamlet is taking out the trash.
And Mouse is.
That was the reference to The Last Action Hero.
Oh, that's what that is. We zoom in on Mouse, and she's got her like little magical ring, which we see, but she like activates some sort of tiny beacon on her forearm.
Yeah.
That kind of looks like a
It looks like a key tool.
Of a key tool.
Yeah, a smaller version or something.
Yeah.
Hmm.
What is she doing in Mainframe?
Yeah. Oh, we didn't mention it. They were like, "How did you respond to the SOS so fast?" And she was like, "Oh, I was already on my way."
Yeah, exactly.
That's
very, very.
So,
head scratcher.
So slightly off topic, but my desktop background is a slideshow of various screenshots I've taken in video games over the years.
amazing.
And I'm going to upload what it is right now.
Whoa. Nice.
Coincidence?
Not at all.
For the listeners, it's a screenshot from Metal Gear Solid. It just coincidentally happened to come up in my desktop slideshow.
It's the late title screen when Snake is ascending up the elevator.
The elevator at the beginning of the game, yeah. Yeah, anyway, so that has been Gigabyte.
That has been Gigabyte.
We
did it, folks.
We did do
it. I'm gonna finish.
Yeah, continue. Go.
By all means.
They say the user lives outside the net and inputs games for pleasure. No one knows for sure, but I intend to find out.
Beast mode.
Oh, man. So, Cal, do you want to tell them about our rating system?
I sure do. We have a 4-point rating system on this podcast. It's of no value except to our own sanity, apparently.
Yeah.
And starting from the bottom, we have that was bad, very bad, which is our least favorite episodes. There's nothing redeeming about them.
No.
So, high code.
Yeah. To I don't think so, which is they're not offensive, they're not horrendous, but they're meh.
Yeah.
And then we go to that was easy enough, which is an enjoyable, if not terrific, episode. And the ones we really liked are Alphanumeric, which are great, some of our favorites, or they're just a really good episode. I think I will start with the Sniddler. What are you thinking about Gigabreath?
Gigabyte, whatever we call them. I actually really like this episode. I'm going to give it an alphanumeric because we're learning more. We have more questions. There's more of a story building. And you can tell if something's going to happen. You just don't know what it is. It's going, this is great. Yeah. So,
Okay.
Pool full of Jello.
Christopher Siege.
I'm giving it a
Pool full of Jello.
I'm giving it a that was easy enough.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's a good episode. I wouldn't consider it like a top tier episode, but I'm always happy to see Mouse come back.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
I think our jokes about Gigabyte were more interesting than Gigabyte.
I would agree with that, yeah.
I can't give it an alphanumeric because Gigabyte sucks. Like, Megabyte, rad. Like, fucking rad. I love Megabyte. Hexadecimal, also fucking rad. I love hexadecimal. Gigabyte is so underwhelmingly not interesting that he has no personality.
He's kind of just a meathead.
He's just a Terminator.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
I'll agree with that. Yeah.
So, since he's the source of conflict, it's really hard to be worried, but there is a lot going for it. I think I'm going to give it that was easy enough.
Mm.
Cool.
It would have been I don't think so, if not for Mouse and the nulls, and like the plot being mentioned and the relationship development with like Dot and Mouse, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's that was that was easy enough.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, we're on the same page. Well, me and you are.
Yeah, so that's 2 ratings of that was easy enough and 1 alphanumeric for Gigabyte. Listeners, if you do not tire of our voices, please go and find us at Lasercomb Productions on Facebook. Send us a message there. Bug us. If you want to send us an email, we're actually doing a contest right now. Christopher Siege has graciously offered up a digital download copy of, I believe it was Ghost in the Shell. Was it the original movie? What was it?
Yep, the original 1995 anime.
Yeah. So all you need to do is send us an email at alphanumericpod@outlook.com and just tell us a memory of ReBoot. It can be a bad memory, a good memory. Your writing will not be scrutinized, and you'll be entered into a random draw for Ghost in the Shell. If you want to check us out on our website, you can find us at www.alphanumericpodcast.ca. If you don't specifically put in the www and the dot, the link just breaks. So yeah, it's like back to the 90s, folks. You got to put in the entire address there. If you want to, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say at simpatico.ca.
Oh, wow.
Speaking of back to the 90s.
That just bored like a part of my memory that has been buried away. If you want to give us a 5-star rating on Apple, in the Apple iTunes, I think it is, right? What do they call it?
It's iTunes on desktop or Apple Podcasts on mobile devices.
Mobile Apple Podcast. Yeah, if you give us 5 stars on that, it helps with visibility, and we'll read your review. But yeah, if you bug us on any of these, like if you just want to listen to us through the browser on our website, you can listen to us ad-free. But we're pretty much anywhere, right, Christopher? We're on Spotify.
Yep.
Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, Google Podcasts, and a whole bunch of ones that I've never heard of before, like Castbox and Deezer, and yeah, all kinds of places.
Oh, I've never even heard of that one.
Yeah, no, I hadn't either until I had discovered that people are listening to us through those services. So I'm like, hey, cool. Shout out to you guys.
If you're a YouTuber, like if YouTube's just easier, hey, Lasercomb Productions on YouTube, where you can find this podcast, Alphanumeric, as well as our Beast Wars podcast, Too Much Energon. So you can find us on YouTube as well. Christopher, is there anything out of our outro that I have forgotten?
No, I think that's about it. We'll be back next week with the 9th episode of Season 2 of Reboot, Trust No One.
Ooh.
We're almost done Season 2, boys.
That's one of my favorites.
Oh, shit.
Actually.
Yeah. We've only got 2 episodes to go.
How is this going by so fast?
It's a really short season.
Yeah.
It's only 10 episodes.
Right.
10 interesting episodes. Except for a couple.
Well.
A couple. I'd say 7 interesting episodes.
Whoa there, partner. Don't forget about high code.
We're doing
give me a check to correct myself. All right.
Oh God, Ron, we're doing quick strike impressions.
What in darnation?
And on that note, listeners, we bid you a good day.
Yeah, until next week, stay frosty.
And yes.
Choked up because I stole yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, oh God, now what do I say?
No, what do I say now? Game over.
Do 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 do.
Bomb 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 bomb.
I shall eat all the ass in mainframe.
Well, she sneaks around the world from Maryland to Carolina. She's a sticky-fingered filter from Berlin down to Belize. She'll take you for a ride on a slow boat to China. Tell me where in the world is
Carmen San Diego.
there's only South Korea. They get on it 'cause Cryon come from the Red Sea to Greenland. Will they singing the blues? Or will they never Arkansas still? The beat come from a jungle. Tell me where in the world is
Carmen San Diego.
she go from Nashville to Norway, Bonaire to Zimbabwe, Chicago to Czechoslovakia and back. Well, she'll ransack Pakistan and Afghanistan and Scandinavia, then just stick 'em up down under and go big pocket bird. She was a missing misdemeanor when she stole the beans from